what do you think this team will do at 15, or will they go out and try and acquire a veteran?
Well, listen, they sent apparently one coach down to Mobile, period, and that was Kevin O'Connell, their passing game coordinator and their quarterbacks coach. And he, I'm told, was with Kyle Smith a lot. Now, of course, Kyler Murray, we know, was not there, but Drew Lock and the kid from Duke, who is starting to become the apple of everyone's eye, they weren't down there to have barbecue in Mobile. They're going to draft a quarterback, and they're going to draft it early. How early? I don't know. It depends on who's there at 15. I don't think they should move up, despite having, I think it is 9 draft picks. I could be off on that. Hasn't been figured out, but I used to be 9 picks. They're going to draft a quarterback early, period. There's no question about that. I didn't need yesterday's report. You guys reported this 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. So you guys knew. I know you guys were sensitive with you guys were, on this from the minute it happened. Alex Smith was never going to play in 2019. And look, I don't want to be a gloom and doom guy. He's unlikely. Let's just leave it at that to play ever again, period. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm just happy he's got his leg, at least for now. And that right now he seems to be doing okay. Now, I would also add to this. Kevin O'Connell is a really interesting name in this because not only is he, again, the quarterback's coach and the passing game coordinator, but I still have some strong suspicions based on people that I talk to that he might become the play caller at some point next year. And it might even be from the start. And this guy is highly regarded in the NFL, in college football, and I was told over the weekend, and I've been told this a couple of times, that Dan Snyder really knows how special this guy can be. So, do they make him ultimately the play caller from the start and take that away from Jay to try and make Jay a better head coach and to try and make the operation better and give Kevin O'Connell the keys to essentially determine or helping determine a big part of the next layer of the franchise? I don't know if they're going to actually do that, but that's where it's kind of starting to head right now. We'll have to see how it all comes together and if they can procure him and keep him because he is getting interest from other teams. The bottom line is they've got a lot to figure out, like I said, not only on the player side, but also on the coaching side. Oh, and one other thing real quickly, guys. Talk to Schefter, Adam Schefter on Friday, right? He came on the show with Aaron Hawksworth and I, and he compared this. I don't know if you guys agree with this or not. The Redskins salary cap held because of the Alex Smith situation, which could be between, say, 20 and, say, 37-ish million, depending on how this all goes down and how it gets structured, to the Redskins salary cap penalty in 2012 and 2013, and that killed the franchise.
Yeah, brutal. And also, we were talking about it, Chris, during one of the last breaks, that, man, when you look at this roster, I can't remember in recent years where they've needed more upgrades. Like, they're obviously set with that Alabama wall. We like that foundation. Right. You throw in Matt Ioannidis. I think actually at running back, you assume Geis will have a good recovery, and AP will give him some stability if they find an agreement there. But they need a quarterback. They clearly need help at receiver. You can't rely on Jordan Reed. The offensive line needs upgrades almost everywhere. Even though they had a bunch of sacks this year, statistically, I still feel like they need more. Linebacker. I mean, everywhere you look, it's unbelievable.
It is weird how a year kind of change. I shouldn't say a year changes the dynamic. I remember being on right with you guys at the start of training camp, and I said, look, this is probably the best depth they've had on this roster in the Bruce Allen era. And I meant it, and I still believe it at the time. Now, that doesn't mean it was a great team, and it was layered for success and for championship success. It was just better than what they normally have, right? And then you have all these catastrophic injuries, and guys drop off in terms of their play and their production, and, of course, the Alex Smith situation, so that just adds a whole nother layer to it. But I agree with you, EB. I mean, look, think about this. We talk about, pass rush. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was. But Preston Smith, even though he didn't put up big pass rush numbers or in terms of sacks, he was a constant force in turning the edge and getting pressure from the backside on a lot of quarterbacks. People don't realize how good he was in that area, also setting the edge at times in run and do it. He's a free agent. I don't know how they're going to get him back. He's going to be a hot commodity in a league.
They can have him. I don't appreciate him as well as you do.
Okay. All right.
I don't appreciate him as
that's
much.
fair. I mean, I'm not saying he's explosive, dynamic, like unbelievable, unstoppable off the edge. I'm just saying I think he's a better all-around player than most people think he is. I could be wrong on that, but that's also how the league thinks he is. And then just flip it, Jamison Crowder, right? The league is going to hold him in higher regard, I think, than we are in the media, and that the Redskins are probably going to be willing to pay, and that's going to weaken another already weakened position, right? If they lose Jamison Crowder, maybe they keep one of these two guys, but just think about that. And they don't have any safeties, and they're very, very questionable at corner. Yep. And inside linebacker, they're going to depend on Reuben Foster, for God's sakes, to improve them. I mean, it is right now, quite honestly, a mess, and we don't even know who's going to be coaching these guys. I mean, is Tom Sula coming back? He's got offers from, or a lot of interest, let's put it that way, from a lot of other teams. So their one position of strength might not even be coached by the same guy that they like.